kidogo nimestuka sana.
Look for a seat and sit. Order, Wanjala, the house is not in business yet.
Yes, my good people, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Guys, kumechemka mbaya tena zaidi. Venye tunaongea hivi, William Ruto alifanya makosa kubwa zaidi kuimpeach Rigathi Gachagua. And now kufikia saizi, William Ruto anafaa apeane Raila Amolo Odinga serikali nusu ama a face impeachment kutoka kwa Wiper, DAP, Jubilee, ODM na Wamunyoro. So William Ruto anafaa amue kitu kimoja. Is either aimpeachiwe na hiyo timu nimekuambia hizo parties ama apeane Raila Odinga serikali nusu. Vile tunaongea saizi guys, even Edwin Sifuna pale asha occupy seat of the majority leader in the Senate. Skiza.
Mr. Speaker, the Constitution is very elaborate. It's very elaborate. You will see it starts out by defining what Parliament is, then separating the roles of the Senate and the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, it goes to be specific enough as to the roles of each of those houses, the matters that can be processed there, and the matters that cannot be processed there. On the question of which party is a majority party, there is absolutely no mention throughout the entire document of the Constitution of the Senate. In my view, it means that the leadership or the designation of a majority party is set in the National Assembly. And I will tell you why I think that, Honorable Speaker. Because it would be very absurd, Honorable Speaker, as SG of ODM, for my party to be the majority down there, and I'm in a minority here. Honorable Speaker, sometimes when you get communications from these coalitions, for instance, our membership of the PSC, there is only one person who writes those letters to you, and that is the Secretary General of Azimio. Honorable Speaker, would he write there in the National Assembly, he writes as a leader of a majority party, and here he writes as a leader of a minority party? These are some of the absurdities that I think would arise if we would not follow the designation. And by the way, Honorable Speaker, I want to be very clear that we in the majority coalition are going to ensure we enforce that court order, because we are believers in the rule of law. Once a court has pronounced itself, Senator Khalwale, you look for another seat. You don't insist on the one that you'll be told is not your seat.
So guys, ikawa sio mwisho, ikawa haitoshi hapa nchini Kenya. I want you to pay attention. Kumewaka tena zaidi. But before we listen guys, ensure umelike video kama kawaida. Nilikwambia guys, hii channel imekuwa ikisupportiwa na wewe. Na bila wewe hii channel inazima completely. So zile moments unaenda kulike video, acha Mungu akutetee tena. Na nasema asanteni sana kuendelea kusupport hii channel. Kwa hivyo guys, wale wageni ambao wanatazama kwa mara ya kwanza, pia guys, please kwa mioyo mikujufu, make sure mna subscribe hapo chini ili tuwe familia kubwa tena zaidi. Unaona watu wangu, sababu nyinyi ndio watu wangu. Hakuna watu wengine na expect kama si nyinyi. Unaona watu wangu. So guys, Meli Odhiambo aliamua ku destroy William Ruto and Wetangula face to face in the parliament. Skiza.
Speaker, is under the Standing Order 19A and Standing Order 20. Mr. Speaker, and in furtherance of a recent decision by the High Court HTC number E202 of 2023, Kenneth Njagi Njiru and 11 others versus the National Assembly of Kenya and others. Mr. Speaker, I will not go to the demerits and merits of that matter. I will go to what the court concluded, which is that the Azimio side is the majority. And based on that, Mr. Speaker, again, because I've said I'm not going to the merits and demerits of that decision, Mr. Speaker, I want to just indicate that I have therefore, as the majority party whip of Azimio, today handed over to your office a copy of that decision of the High Court with a letter that we are giving you our, according to the standing orders, our majority leader as Honorable Junet Mohammed and Honorable Robert Mbui. Mr. Speaker, following the standing orders, Honorable Junet will thereafter then communicate me officially as the minority whip, going by what the standing orders, but a majority whip. Majority. Mr. Speaker, I also stand under standing order 90 and had actually consulted you about this. And Mr. Speaker, if you look at the judgment of that court, the court actually infer that because of the position you hold as Speaker and also as Chairman of your party, Mr. Speaker, it is not as party leader of your party. Mr. Speaker, it is not possible for you to be fair. You are going to be conflicted when you are conducting the matters of this House. Mr. Speaker, I therefore humbly request you to step down and mandate Honorable Gladys Beausoleil to take over in discharging the functions as the Speaker because of your conflict of interest. Mr. Speaker.
So kumechemka mbaya tena zaidi. Kumechemka mbaya tena zaidi. Watu kama kina Kimaini Chungu wameanza kujiharia, sikiza.
Of Parliament. That is why when we move a bill, a government bill, moved by the leader of majority, when it is approved by the House and enacted as law, it becomes an act of Parliament, not an act of the leader of majority or an act of the government of Kenya. It becomes an act of Parliament. And therefore, all previous decisions made by this House have been decisions of the House, and the House subsists as it were on the 9th of August 2022 as it is today, Honorable Speaker, with the unfortunate loss of one or two of our members who have lost, one through a by-election and one by passing on. Honorable Speaker, we also have a very good constitution, Honorable Speaker. And as much as I respect the decision of the court, I completely disagree with the court in many aspects, and some of which have been touched on. I do not want to dwell on to them, Honorable Speaker. But the question that we need to ask you, Honorable Speaker, and ask ourselves, what is it out of the 34 prayers? Honorable Speaker, there is a lot of loud consultations behind me.
Order, members.
I'll say, Honorable Speaker, the gentleman who went to court with a total of 34 prayers before the court. Amongst those prayers was a declaration by the court that the Azimio coalition be declared as a majority party and the leader of the Azimio coalition in Parliament be declared as the majority leader in the House. The court declined to give that declaration or that ruling. The only ruling out of the 34, Honorable Speaker, that was given by the court was to annul your ruling of October 2022. And the import of that annulment, Honorable Speaker, when they said that they found it to be unconstitutional, null and void, the import of that is we go back to the status quo as at 9th of August 2022.
It's called status quo ante.
Status quo ante, Honorable Speaker.
And Wetangula amekataa kuresign kama party leader wa Ford Kenya. So kuna uwezekano ya kwamba kuna mwenye anaenda kutoa hiyo mswada ama hiyo ulalamishi pale mahakamani kwamba Wetangula anafaa afanye nini? Resign ama resign kama Speaker of the National Assembly ama resign kama Ford Kenya party leader. Kwa sababu huwezi kuwa party leader then unaendelea kuwa kama National Speaker. Inafaa uwe neutral. Bado anaendelea kujitetea. Sikiza.
Carefully, Robert Mboy. Order, members. And I want you to listen to this carefully. Order, members. Order. I did say, Robert Mboy, and you are misconducting yourself. You are too senior to be told to leave the chamber. I did say, and I want to repeat, and Emilio Odhiambo, who raised the point, has read this judgment clearly. The judgment quashed the direction of the Speaker on the majority-minority. The judgment never declared who is the majority. It is not the court to declare the majority. It is the Speaker of this House. And you better know that. It is the Speaker of the House to declare the majority.
So mambo yamechemka mbaya tena zaidi. Unaona watu wangu? Hiyo ndio blanda tu ambayo William Ruto aliweza kufanya kuimpeach Rigathi Gachagua. Na ndio maana haya mambo yote yameweza kuchipuka. So William Ruto kuna uwezekano ya kwamba hawezi fika 2027. Itakuwa kimungu. Unaona? Ni 50-50 William Ruto kufika 2027 kwa sababu Raila Odinga pia anaanguka AUC. Akianguka then anakamia William Ruto. Unaona watu wangu, atakuwa anakuja kuimpeach huyu jamaa. Hakutakuwa na shortcut. Zaidi ampatie serikali nusu. Hiyo ndio kitu nimekuambia. Ama a face impeachment very early before 2027. Kwa hivyo guys, mambo yamechemka tena zaidi. Allow me to end from there. Your comments utakuwa niambia kwenye comment section your thoughts. Kwa hivyo guys, ni Raipenda Evans. Kwa tuna siku njema hadi wakati mwingine. Bye bye.